Hi everyone, I'm Candace the Shaman.
And I am Spirit Medium Jenn.
Here is a mini clip of our episode. If you would like to watch more, you can click on the link below.
Don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing videos from our podcast. And also in that space is when you're exploring your energetic body, your spiritual body, all of that. It also can help you explore your multi-dimensional self, which is so powerful because we are more than just this physical form, which I've said time and time and time again. But we can actually explore who we were, who we are, explore those universal truths about our innate self. And that's our given right to be able to do that. And it's not bad or wrong. It's just giving us a deeper understanding of who our spirit truly is.
Yes. You know, when the Lord said that scripture, in my Father's house, there are many mansions.
Yes.
Whenever he says that, I feel that what he's saying to me is in creation, there are many dimensions. And it's all based, again, off of frequency or energy.
Yeah.
And so and one of the things that you learn through journey work, and, you know, this is your spirit self exploring your multidimensional reality, like what you were saying. It's going places, putting your conscious awareness into a different frequency or a different dimension. What you find is that you have access to not only the different dimensions, but also the past, present, and future. And a lot of people have talked about how you can explore past lifetimes. And if people are open to that, I would highly recommend you explore this.
I was a skeptic and I'm a believer.
Yeah.
And I will advocate for that 100%.
100%. But as you find out during your journey work too, is that even in the present reality that we all live, there are multiple timelines.
Yes.
And people talk about quantum leaping, and there's other terms that people talk about, timelines, or what is the highest timeline, or shifting frequency, the highest timeline, which means that there are multiple endless outcomes for every given situation, but they all depend on frequency. They all depend on energy. So when you're aligned with your highest self and you're attuned, which that tube of light meditation helps with that, you are aligning with the highest timeline of your reality.
Yeah. Well, because if you think about being in a very low space, you can feel the low density. Whereas when you're on this high vibration, when things are going well, when you're excited, you literally feel like a different person. You're experiencing the world differently, but you could also be shifting this dimensional space within.
Yes. I've had some pretty interesting experiences with this quantum leaping energy, or
you have had some
timelines.
Stuff.
Yeah. And wow, that's a whole show.
Yeah.
But I'll narrow it down to like one story. So I was walking this beautiful trail, and I've shared this, and you've had similar experiences over at the Donut Falls Trail. Now, we have done this walk many times, and I used to take my kids there because it's such a fun trail to go on. And it's great exercise, but it's not too long, like it's, a nice balance,
it's a perfect balance.
for families. And you get to this waterfall, and they call it Donut Falls because it has this rock that has a hole in it, like a donut. And then the water goes through the middle. And so a lot of people like to climb around it. Of course, there's been lots of accidents because of that as well. But one thing is so interesting about this trail is that it seems to be, and it's probably because this is on an energetic ley line, because not only do we have energetic bodies,
yes, I love you talking about
but
this.
Mother Earth has an energetic body, and there are ley lines or meridians, and there's chakras on the Mother Earth, just like
there are
us. So what I think is happening in this particular trail is we're on a ley line. The veil is very, very thin there.
That makes sense.
Very thin. And so if you are in a meditative state, there are certain things that can show up for you,
which we both have seen separately.
Yeah. At separate occasions, the same thing, which I think is incredible.
I do
Again, a
too.
miracle, right? In
Yeah.
itself.
I was younger,
Mm-hmm.
but oh, it's so powerful. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So my sons were running up ahead of me, and I go around this corner, and there's a particular place where you go up over a corner, and then it comes down, and then it goes over this wooden bridge in the trees. It's like a tiny meadow where it goes down, like an opening in the trees. It's the best way I can explain it. But I was going around the corner, and over on the left on the corner was this massive tree. It looked like a huge sequoia or redwood tree, kind of, because it had the same kind of bark and everything else, red, deep, and deep grooves in the bark. But there was a face on this tree trunk, and it looked like it had its eyes closed. It had a big old knobby nose, and it had a slight smile. It was very serene, and it was as real as anything that is here. And it was so real that I reached out and I put my hand on the face, so I felt it, and it didn't move, and it didn't change, and it was here, solid. Okay.
Isn't that so interesting? Because when I experienced it, we were walking by pretty quick. It was with my young women's. And I was like, that tree looks like it's smiling, like it has a face.
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone's like, let's take a picture. But we were like taking a picture on the bridge. So I was like, it has a face. It looks like it's smiling. So then we went up there, we sat in the water, we played, and then we came back. I'm like, to my friend Bethany, I'm like, you have to see this tree.
Mm-hmm.
And when we came back, it was gone.
It's gone.
And she was like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I guess I just made it up. But then you were telling me about this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Candace, I have seen that tree.
Yes, exact same spot. And I did the same thing where my kids were running ahead, and they were little. Mm-hmm. And of course, as a mother, it's like, okay, you got to go after your kids. You can't and you try to get them to come to you, and they don't. Right. So I'm like, come back, and so I'm going after my kids. I'm like, I'm going to come back to this tree and show the kids. Same thing, came back to it, and the whole tree is not there. Like the corner even looked different, like it wasn't the same. There was trees back there, but they were like aspens mixed with regular pine, smaller pine trees. Like the whole big tree was not even there.
Different. Yeah.
And so every time I go back to that tree, I'm always looking for that tree. Yeah. But the time I found it, I was very relaxed. I was in a meditative, peaceful place. And there was a frequency shift. Mm-hmm. I think that we just shift into the elemental kingdom. We were able to see things that are always there, but depending on frequency, either feel it or experience it. And mind you, if you're not feeling it, because you feel energy before things show up physically. So in resonance, if you're not resonating with it, you're not in that frequency, you're not going to feel it. And then it's not going to show up in your reality. You have to change your frequency. And then it can be as real and solid as anything. It can be here.
Absolutely.
And I've had many other things happen, and I've told you about, but I know this to be true. It's not like some idea that's in my mind that I haven't experienced. I've experienced things as real as anything else.
It's so powerful.
And it's so powerful.
And that goes back into our last podcast, the power of your mind. Mm-hmm. Is when you're mindful, is when you have a healthy balance between all four elements. Yes. We can become more mindful and fully experience our multidimensional self. We can have healing happen. We can be a part of healing taking place. Like we're not separated from any of that. We just forget. Mm-hmm. We so easily forget, but it is who we are. And I have loved this conversation. And I love even knowing that we can shift our reality. We can shift the dimensions in which we're living here now. And that's so powerful. The last thing I want to say is in this book, Dying to Be Me by Anita Morjani. Have you listened to that?
No, but I think I remember you mentioning it before.
Oh, okay. She was diagnosed with cancer. And a lot of it was her rejecting herself. So her body rejected her. I listen to this book twice a year. Wow. Twice a year I listen to it because it's so amazing. But she has a near-death experience. And as she's crossed over, she sees herself in like a third world country with her brother. But she and the brother had switched roles. Like one was older in this lifetime than in that one. But it was going on at the same time. And she was floored because in her culture, that wasn't a thing. Yep. And so there's so many people who have experienced different altered realities, different things. And so I hope this just sparked a little bit of joy inside of you to be like, we have so much more to us. And energy clearing, energy healing is just one facet that is so innately within us. It's just trusting that power and using that medicine, because it can be extremely powerful if it's used in the right way.
Awesome. Yes. So I hope you enjoyed our episode today as we explored energy and the energy body and the dimensions and everything else.
So fun.
And I'm looking forward to some of our future episodes, because we're going to kind of take this to the next level. And we're going to be talking about sound healing and light healing and doing all of the different modalities that can come from energy medicine.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like this is going to be integrated in future technology.
I do too.
I really do. So I'm excited about our future. We're in the age of the golden age of miracles, as the Course of Miracles says, and many blessings to everyone. Thank you for watching Modern Sages. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
We are so grateful for your support. We have an Instagram account as well as on Facebook. We have our podcast, which is the Modern Sages podcast.
And we are so excited to launch our Gifts of Spirit classes in our Modern Sages Mystery School.
Absolutely. Oh, we're so excited. So we're going to link the information below in the show notes for more information about our mystery school.